React Context. We can already know the purpose of this feature just from the name. It helps us to share and distribute data and state across components that is within the context area. In this project, there's a component tree that you will usually build. By the way, if you want to try together, check the GitHub code in the link below. Requirement for this lesson. You need to at last know React functional component and also React useState hook. If you don't know it yet, please watch these two videos first. I give the link in the video description. Okay, let's see this project component tree first. It will be fast. We start from the app component. We have tweet list as the child of the app. Tweet component below tweet list. Comment list below the tweet component. Comment and comment at below comment list component. Now you know the component tree, let's take a look at the project and browse the file for a while, so we know what we cover here. Tweets data. This is just an example data. Usually you get this data from API, but we want to keep it simple, so we just use JSON variable here. State tweets and set tweets that use tweets data as initial data, and function add comment to add more comment. Let me demonstrate it first. See the browser on the right. Just like that. And now, just like you already seen on the component tree, app has tweet list. I store all related tweet component inside tweet folder and the tweets data inside data folder. Tweet list is basically all you can see in our app. This is tweet component. This is our tweet posted by and our tweet. This is the comment list. Again, the comment data, and also add comment component, and so on. Inside the comment add component, there's a function to send a new comment. I just use form with prevent default when submitted, so the browser won't be refreshed. Just use simply useRef for accessing comment value, and submit button to add comment. When it called, it will call add comment function using related tweet ID. Now, this is the important part. If you see carefully in all these components, we always passing the same parameter or what we call props from the top to the bottom. This is messed up if we need to add more function or more data later on. We need to pass it to every component below. This problem is called prop drilling. We need to be able to share data across components, so it can be used only on the component asked for the data or the function. See here, we pass down add comment function through tweet list and to the bottom of the component, even if the only component needs it is comment add component. We need to fix it using React Context. But first, let me tell you React Context sharing data coverage. Let's say we define our context in tweet list. Then the data and state will be distributed to all components below the tweet list. And if we define our context in app, then the data and state will be distributed to all components below app. It means all the components available in our example. This is kind of ridiculous, right? But we will need it to share our add comment function from the app component to the comment add component. The note for you is, always limit the coverage of the context. Don't make it all global because it makes the component renders every time the state in context changes. Don't misuse it. Okay, let's start making context for our tweet component. Close all our opened file first. Then open our tweet list component. We want to share each individual tweet context data to tweet component and below. So we'll start here. To use context, just define a variable and create context. Here I define tweet context. Let's import create context function from React. And inside the context, there's a component called provider. This is where we put all the values that we want to share to the components below. So just type tweet context.provider value and give object with the value that we want to share. Here we just want to share each individual tweet data. I think we should move tweet context to its own file, so it can be easily imported from any other component that needs it. Create folder context, and create file tweetcontext.jsx. Move the tweet context creation there. And export default to context. Import tweet context to tweet list because we already moved it. Okay, done. I wonder if it works if we just use JS and not JSX. Yes, it worked. Just write it that way. Now we can clear tweet and tweet ID attribute from tweet component. In our tweet, we can start to use our context. But we need to change the structure of our functional component first, because it's not only a return element now. We need to load our context inside it too. We can use our context using useContext and use our tweet context. Remember that we share tweet data. We can just destructure it like this. And we can remove tweet from our props parameter. Also, our comment list didn't need tweet ID and comments anymore. Go to our comment list, remove tweet ID and comments prop parameter, and again, change the function component structure. Then use our context here. We can also get comments from the tweet. Can we use context for comment here? Yes, we can. But for now, it's useless because the comment component is not complex at all. We can also remove tweet ID from comment add. The same as before, open comment add, remove tweet ID props parameter, get our tweet from our context, use tweet ID instead of tweet ID variable. Let's check it if it works. Nope, it's not working. Let's see the console. We forgot to add key to our tweet. We can add it, but this is not related to the add command. It's okay, still let's fix it. Because of we're using provider as wrapper, we need to add the key on our provider. Now let's fix our add function. I forgot to destructure tweet from the context and just use tweet directly. That's why it's not working. Fix it and let's try. Okay, it worked. Now we can also create context for our tweets data and add comment function. Remember, we can also share state from context. We'll do it now. Create new file. We will call this tweets context. And this time, let's use JSX, because we will return a component wrapper here. Create the context. Remember before we used context.provider? Now we will use it inside our new component. And why we need a new component? It's because we will share state too. We can move all the logic here. Create tweetsProvider component that will return our tweetsContext.provider. And remember, React has children props built in. We'll use that, so whatever component or element that throws inside this component will be included inside our context area. Also, this makes our app UI view easier to read. Let's continue. Move our tweets and set tweet state, tweet data, and also add comment function to our tweets provider. Remove unnecessary import from the app. Import useState to our context. Export our tweets provider. Now let's remove all variables that we already moved to the tweets context. And use tweets provider here. Put tweet list inside it so tweet list will become tweets provider's child. Remember, we haven't shared our state at all. Let's share it inside the provider using value attribute. We want to share tweet state and add comment function. Now we can remove all parameters from tweet list. Inside the tweet list, again change the structure, remove all props parameter, and then use our context here. We don't need add comment function, so we didn't need to declare it. To use the context, we also need to export the context, not only the provider, because the provider just provides the values, but currently the tweet context itself is not shared, so there's no components that can receive the data that provider provides. We need to export tweets context so it can be used on another component. Now let's import the tweets context. Okay, I got an error that said data tweets not found. It's because when we move it inside the folder, the location is changed. Let's fix it. Now it's just add comment function. Remove add comment function from tweet, comment list, and comment add. Inside comment add, we can grab add comment function from our tweets context. Okay, let's see. It works. How about that? Easy, right? See on each files now. There's no prop drilling problem. You can distribute data and function as needed, only to the component that asks for it. I also give the finished project GitHub link in the video description. Hope it helps. If you like this video, please do like and subscribe. Turn on your bell button so you'll know when there's a new tutorial published. Thank you for watching. See ya!